Gentlemen, there is a truth that many people quietly face but rarely speak about. It is the feeling that a strength which once came so naturally, without thought or effort, now suddenly feels unfamiliar. Not because desire is gone, and not because the spirit has grown cold. Inside, the emotions are still there. It's just that the body no longer responds the way it used to. Many believe this is an inevitable result of time, that at a certain age, everything must slow down and acceptance is the only option. But the saddest part is not the change itself, it is the confusion that comes from not understanding what is really happening within one's own body. There are moments when, standing in front of the mirror, a man quietly asks himself, "What have I lost?" Confidence slowly closes in on itself. Intimacy becomes cautious. And then many choose silence. They choose to ignore it, to live day by day with that sense of absence. But if you are here, it means you still care about yourself. And that, above all else, is the most important starting point. If you find this content helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel to support me. Every subscription is a huge motivation for me to continue sharing more meaningful and valuable insights. For many years, a lot of men have believed that as long as they eat the right way, everything will eventually balance itself out. Olive oil is added to daily meals and seen as a symbol of a healthy lifestyle. And yes, it is good, very good, especially for overall endurance and flexibility of the body. But there is a truth that few people talk about. Olive oil alone is not enough to restore the strong, powerful feeling many men are searching for. Many have tried the Mediterranean diet, eaten salads regularly, walked every day, and cut out bad habits. They followed almost every familiar piece of advice, yet the results were disappointing. The change felt subtle, and true confidence did not fully return. The reason lies in a major misunderstanding. These healthy habits only play a foundational role. They take care of the surface, but they do not reach the key factor that determines how strongly the body can respond. That key factor is nitric oxide, a natural signal that helps open the pathway for internal flow. When nitric oxide is lacking, even the most correct efforts struggle to create a clear and noticeable difference. The role of nitric oxide. There is a quiet signal that plays a decisive role in a man's sense of strength. It is not loud, not commonly mentioned in everyday conversations, yet when it is missing, the body responds almost immediately, with silence. That signal is nitric oxide. Imagine the internal flow of the body as a river. When the river is wide open, water moves smoothly and powerfully, and everything happens naturally without effort. Nitric oxide is the signal that helps those gates open, allowing the flow to move freely and fully. When this signal works well, blood circulates more completely, filling the spaces that need it most, and creating a feeling of firmness and stability. But even a small reduction in that flow can make a noticeable difference. A subtle change on the inside can lead to a strong sense of loss on the outside. That is why many men still have desire and emotions, yet no longer feel the same strength as before. It is not because the body has passed its time, but because this crucial signal is gradually weakening, quietly yet deeply. Interestingly, sometimes what's missing isn't something luxurious or hard to find. It's not hidden in expensive products, nor does it require complicated methods. It's right there in a familiar kitchen, so simple that many people have overlooked it without a second thought. That ingredient is vinegar. Inside vinegar is a natural component called acetic acid. When it enters the body, it doesn't create an immediate or forceful external effect. It doesn't push or pressure anything. Instead, it sends a gentle signal, awakening the gatekeepers within the body's pathways, helping them relax and open so natural flow can return. Unlike mechanical or forced approaches, vinegar works from the inside in a very natural way. It's like a timely reminder, helping the body remember how to respond in a way that once felt effortless. Quiet, unhurried, yet effective enough to make a real difference when it's understood and used correctly. If this content offers you a new perspective, please subscribe to the channel to support me and comment number 1 below. Every subscription and comment is a huge motivation for me to keep sharing even more valuable insights. Vinegar is not simply a familiar ingredient in everyday meals. When used consistently and in the right way, it creates quiet changes that gradually spread throughout the entire body. First, vinegar helps activate natural signals within, supporting smoother internal flow and bringing back a sense of steadiness and stability that many people once lost. Another notable benefit is its ability to ease built-up tension in the body. As this heaviness is released, the body responds more gently and with greater flexibility. After meals, the familiar feeling of sluggishness often fades, helping you avoid that sudden energy drop many experience. Over time, vinegar also supports the body in dealing with deeply stored fat, something that can quietly limit flexibility and endurance. At the same time, it helps nurture balance within the digestive system, an area that influences many daily sensations people rarely pay attention to. As these elements improve together, many begin to clearly notice the difference. More stable energy, warmer hands and feet, and a clearer, sharper mind. It's not a sudden transformation, but rather the feeling that the body is slowly returning to its natural rhythm once again. What makes it truly special is not vinegar or olive oil on their own, but the way these two familiar ingredients meet. Each has its own role, yet when combined properly, they create a subtle harmony inside the body. Vinegar is like a gentle call, awakening natural responses that have been asleep for a long time. Olive oil, meanwhile, plays a supportive role, nourishing, cushioning, and protecting that flow, helping everything move more smoothly and sustainably. One initiates, the other maintains. No rushing, no forcing, just deep enough to make a real difference. Many people notice that when these two ingredients appear together in meals, the body responds more clearly than when either is used alone. A sense of lightness spreads, energy no longer rises and falls unpredictably, and stability slowly returns. It's like opening a window to let fresh air in while also tidying up the room. Only when both happen at the same time does the space inside truly feel open. And in that openness, the body begins to remember the natural rhythm it once had. Do you like this style? Think of the body as a system guided by signals. When the right signal is sent, everything naturally begins to run smoothly. Vinegar acts as the trigger for this chain of responses. Once inside the body, it awakens the coordinator that lines the pathways of blood flow, allowing the body's built-in reactions to switch back on. From that initial signal, a familiar message is released: nitric oxide. It works like a reminder, encouraging pathways that have tightened over time to gradually relax and open up, creating more space for flow to move with strength and ease. When these pathways widen, blood can more fully reach the areas that need it most, producing a feeling of firmness and stability. At the same time, olive oil plays a quiet but essential supporting role. It helps the body receive signals more effectively and protects these pathways from becoming dry or stiff over time. One element activates, the other nourishes. When both are present, the body's response becomes clearer and more harmonious. Not forced, not sudden, but aligned with the body's natural rhythm. What truly matters is not only what you use, but how you use it. Natural changes always require the right timing and a gentle rhythm. The same applies to vinegar and olive oil. When used at the right moment, the body receives them more smoothly. The first step is to create a small ritual before meals. About 10 to 15 minutes before your main meal, prepare a glass of room temperature water and add 1 to 2 teaspoons of vinegar. There's no need to rush. Take small, slow sips, as if you're quietly signaling the body to prepare for the next phase of activity. This calm approach helps the body adapt and respond more effectively. The second step happens during the meal itself. At least once a day, have a simple salad. Use 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and add 1 teaspoon of vinegar combined with leafy greens and fresh vegetables. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. When these two familiar ingredients enter the body together, they support each other, allowing internal flow to become more balanced and harmonious. It is this daily consistency, not intensity, that becomes the key to creating meaningful change over time. When starting a new habit, it's important to understand that the body needs time to remember and adapt. This is not a loud change that happens overnight, but a quiet, step-by-step process. Subtle, yet very real. During the first week, many people notice small but pleasant signals. Energy throughout the day feels more stable, falling asleep in the evening becomes easier, and waking up in the morning feels lighter than before. These are signs that the body has begun adjusting its internal rhythm. From the second to the fourth week, the changes become more noticeable. Some are surprised to find familiar morning responses returning, without forcing, without expectation. As a result, confidence slowly starts to rebuild. By the period between the 8th and 12th week, if the routine is maintained consistently each day, the improvement becomes steadier and more reliable. The key lies in one word: consistency. The body always responds to regularity, not to rushing. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel to support me and comment number 1 below. Your support is a huge motivation for me to continue sharing more valuable content. When starting a new habit, it's important to understand that the body needs time to remember and adapt. This is not a loud change that happens overnight, but a quiet, step-by-step process. Subtle, yet very real. During the first week, many people notice small but pleasant signals. Energy throughout the day feels more stable, falling asleep in the evening becomes easier, and waking up in the morning feels lighter than before. These are signs that the body has begun adjusting its internal rhythm. From the second to the fourth week, the changes become more noticeable. Some are surprised to find familiar morning responses returning, without forcing, without expectation. As a result, confidence slowly starts to rebuild. By the period between the 8th and 12th week, if the routine is maintained consistently each day, the improvement becomes steadier and more reliable. The key lies in one word: consistency. The body always responds to regularity, not to rushing. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel to support me and comment number 1 below. Your support is a huge motivation for me to continue sharing more valuable content. The most important point to repeat is this. This is not a miracle cure, nor is it magic that happens overnight. It is a natural process of renewal, where the body is given the conditions it needs to adjust and restore itself according to its own rhythm. The decline that many people once believed was an inevitable result of time is, in reality, simply a signal that the body needs to be cared for in the right way. When internal flow becomes smoother, the benefits go beyond physical vitality. Confidence begins to return. A sense of steadiness within oneself is rebuilt. The ability to connect intimately comes back in a more natural and gentle way. These changes are not loud or dramatic, but they are real, and they often come from small habits maintained consistently each day. Just one small action, repeated with patience, can create a big change over time. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with me in future sharing. Don't forget to comment number 1 to support and help spread this value to more people. Thank you for being here.